Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Sunday, February 2nd. We're looking at daily precipitation chances continue into early next week as temperatures continue on that warming trend. I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. Again, a mix of rain and snow will continue each and every day as we head into early next week. We are going to see another round of gusty winds today, peaking this afternoon, but overall subsiding into early next week before picking back up on Wednesday. And with the southwest flow with this event, we are continuing to see warmer temperatures heading into today and early next week. That'll support a mix of rain and snow across our lowest elevations, with a return to colder temperatures a bit more delayed until later next week. And taking a quick look at satellite for you this morning. Mostly cloudy skies out there, some drier air starting to filter in across the northern Great Basin, so we are starting to see some precipitation begin to lift further north as the more well-defined moisture continues into central Idaho and portions of eastern Idaho. And a look at the bigger picture for you. So here's that main system that's been driving this moisture on shore. It's going to remain fairly stationary in place, tapping into a large plume of subtropical moisture, and that'll keep those daily precipitation chances going, some ample snowfall as you head up into the mountains, but certainly that rain-snow mix across our lowest elevations over the next several days. Here's a look at your weather risk outlook for the next 5 days. A mix of rain and snow and gusty winds out there today. Things do taper down for winds as we head into early next week, but as you can see, that rain-snow chances do continue. May see some breaks in the action at times, but overall that trend of some wet weather will continue as we head into early next week in the first full week of February. For Tuesday, mix of that rain and snow, but winds do ramp up on Wednesday. Mix of that rain and snow, a bit more moderate as you head up into the high country with some lingering showers into Thursday. And speaking of precipitation, we did set a record daily precipitation at the Stanley Ranger Station yesterday. So starting off February with a pretty impressive 6100ths, breaking the previous record set back in 1997, and it was the wettest day in Stanley since June 3rd of last year. Here's a look at our watches, warnings, and advisories currently in effect. So overall, expected some widespread winter travel conditions, even if you're not under an alert right now. But certainly that mix of rain and snow across our lowest elevations, more moderate to major impacts as you head into the high country. And here's a look at the precipitation chances over the next several days. Bigger trends for us will be we're tracking this band of moisture that's continuing to stream in from the Pacific. Looks like it's going to be continuing to lift north today, dropping south back into tonight, before lifting again north on later in the day Monday, and then dropping back south on Tuesday. So overall, just kind of ebbing and flowing as it works onshore from the ocean. But with that starting around that Wednesday, Thursday time frame, some more isolated activities. We might be able to see a bit of a break in much of the more widespread precipitation. But things do pick back up starting for Thursday and Friday, a bit colder as we head into late next week, keeping things more snow as opposed to the much more mild temperatures we're seeing with this system through at least Tuesday into early Wednesday. And temperatures out there for you today. Overall, we're starting off today in the teens, 20s, and 30s. Afternoon highs above freezing for most in the 30s to mid 40s. And before I get to the precipitation amounts for you today, let's just talk timing. So starting you off at 5 a.m. this morning, NAM model on the left, HER on the right. We're going to continue to see that rain-snow mix continue to lift north. You see that dry air I was talking about lifting north out of the Great Basin, seeing more isolated to showery conditions further south as more well-defined moisture continues into our mountains. But really tough forecast across some of our lower elevations where it's 34, 35 and snowing, and in other places it's 34, 35 and raining. So snow level, certainly a difficult forecast for this one, but generally just expect that mix of rain and snow, warmer temperatures this afternoon, supporting more of that across our lowest elevations to be rain. But as that band drops a little further south heading into tonight and Monday, we'll see some more snow chances continue, again wavering as it continues to build in moisture all the way into Monday and Tuesday, lifting north there on Monday pretty steadily, so we're seeing less impacts during that time frame, but certainly up into the central mountains, Wood River Valley into the Sawtooths, seeing those snow chances and rain continue all the way as we head into Tuesday. And taking a look at what we're currently seeing out there this morning. Overall, that rain-snow line generally through Pocatello, southwest into Burley, down into Utah. Mix of rain and snow, especially for our mountain passes areas, but we're seeing that snow line generally up around Idaho Falls and INL, with mostly snow favored everywhere else. And here's a look at our expected amounts for you today. So an additional trace to maybe a couple inches of snow for the Snake River Plain, more moderate accumulations headed into our mountains. And with respect to winds today, overall we're going to see gusts about 30 to 40 miles an hour, locally stronger at times, with some patchy blowing and drifting snow across our highest elevations. For your Monday, much of the same, teens, 20s, and 30s to start things off, with afternoon highs actually trending above normal for most locations, 30s to upper 40s, pushing into the low 50s across the lower Snake River Plain and eastern Magic Valley region. And for Monday, we'll keep that precipitation going, a bit more of that push further north, as I had mentioned, so best chances for that snow will shift up into the central mountains and around the greater Yellowstone region, with some fairly light precipitation expected elsewhere. Winds on Monday not going to be as strong as they're going to be today, but still seeing gusts about 25 to 35 miles an hour. And for your Tuesday, we'll keep that warming trend going. Overnight lows generally above freezing now for many locations, 20s and 30s. Afternoon highs in the 40s and 50s. And into Tuesday, overall, those best chances for precipitation are going to shift more moderate impacts up into the mountains. Given that warm air mass at the surface, we are expecting that mostly rain across our lowest elevations, perhaps a mix of rain and snow as you get into the high country valleys. But other than that, all snow as you head into the highest elevations. And wind gusts on Tuesday, just about where they were on Monday, gusts about 25 to 35 miles an hour. And for your Wednesday, this is where we're going to start to see some colder air beginning to build in. So a little bit cooler in the morning, teens, 20s, and 30s. Afternoon highs still in those 30s and 40s, just a bit cooler from where we were on Tuesday. And for Wednesday, courtesy of that colder air, we're going to start to see that rain-snow mix possible across our lower elevations, Snake Plain, Magic Valley corridor. But overall, those more minor to moderate impacts look like they should stay confined heading up into the mountains. And wind gusts on Wednesday, looking like an increasing signal here for some wind. Looks like gusts should be on the order of about 35 to 45 miles an hour, locally stronger in some of our wind-prone areas. Heading into Thursday, a cold morning in comparison to where we've been at least the last several days there. Single digits, teens, and 20s to start things off for your Thursday. Afternoon highs in the 20s, 30s to low 40s. And you guessed it, precipitation will be continuing as we head into Thursday. Some widespread light snow across much of our area, with more moderate accumulations up around Yellowstone and the Tetons and Central Mountains. And wind gusts on Thursday, noticeably quieter from what we saw on Wednesday there, generally less than about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And to look at what's to come, 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, not looking as good as it was for us several days ago, but that's kind of this active period we're seeing here. So a bit of a more weakening signal there for some near normal to slightly above normal precipitation in that February 7th through 11th timeframe. But temperatures do look like we should be cooling down towards the later part of next week. So again, following that cold front pushing in some air out of the north, we are going to see those colder temperatures return as a more colder continental air mass shifts south out of Canada. 8 to 14 just keep us in that general range for some above normal favored precipitation. We'll see exactly how active our pattern stays here as we head into the middle part of February. But overall, looks like those below normal temperatures are here to stay. So if you enjoy those temps and pushing into those 40s and 50s across our lowest elevations, looks like we'll have that going here for the next several days, but certainly cooling off towards later parts of next week into mid-February. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome Sunday and stay safe out there.